คุณกำลังฟังสถานีวิทยุ AM 1575 กิโลเฮิรตซ์สรานรมเรดิโอวิทยุการทูตเพื่อประชาชนเชื่อมไทยสู่โลกเชื่อมโลกสู่ไทย
สวัสดีค่ะ and welcome back to Inside MFA with me สริสาประชุมญาณ Inside MFA is on air every Friday from 6 to 6:30 bright and early on a Friday. So if you are, an early morning person, and you wake up really early and you have nothing to do, be sure to tune in to AM 1575 kilohertz. To Saranrom Radio and listen to all of our programs right here from MFA or the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand. Saranrom Radio is actually on air every weekday from Monday through to Friday from 6 in the morning until 10 p.m. at night. So if you're interested in finding out what we diplomats do on a daily basis, be sure to tune in and check out all of our programs right here. We have issues or things that might be of interest to you, ranging from consular affairs, bilateral relations, legal affairs. We even have lessons on Myanmar. So if you're interested in learning the Myanmar language, you can always tune in then as well. I think that we actually do have a list of programs that is actually on air, so be sure to check out our website at Saranrom Radio, or it's rather saranrom.mfa.go.th is in the website, so be sure to check that out. And if you haven't followed us, like us or subscribe, be sure to do so on our Facebook page, which is Saranrom Radio, and our YouTube, which is Saranrom Radio as well. Saranrom is spelled S-A-R-A-N-R-O-M, and radio is course radio, so be sure to check those out as well. So a few things to update you guys today with half an hour, so I don't have a lot of time. But before that, I suppose we should talk about the recent incident at Siam Paragon. It's really sad, and many condolences to the family of the victims as well. I know that 2 people have died, and it's still the issues of a 14-year-old boy making a makeshift gun and going on a shooting spree. But it wasn't really a shooting spree, but anyway, going on a shooting or rampage, or just going to a shopping mall to shoot someone. It's not a usual occurrence here in Bangkok. I mean, we've had shooting rampage kind of thing, or shooting incidents a few times in the past couple of years, but it's not a daily occurrence thing here in Bangkok, not like in the United States that you always hear about shooting somewhere. But United States is a lot bigger than Thailand if we are going to compare that in that sense. So it was very devastating, very surprising, and it wasn't the location wasn't actually that far from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to be frank. It's just 2 stops away by BTS, or the SkyTrain basically, so it's pretty close. The news came in pretty quickly, and I don't really want to talk about it much. I just want to express my condolences to the victims' families, and also to talk about how the ministry, or how MFA has handled the situation. Of course, we held an immediate press conference just to give out information to the press, especially foreign press, of what's going on, what has been done so far, the progress of the situation, and pretty much that was that. And I think that we are carrying on with more operations after that, because we would like a more comprehensive ad hoc operation center, like a one-stop center that we can actually publicize needed information in this kind of situation in the future. So we're trying to lay down the groundwork for that as well. Anyway, the weather, it's still raining. It's raining pretty hard actually. 2 days ago it was flooding. I mean, it was just crazy. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the main headquarters, not the consular affairs in Jangwatana, is actually located quite in the heart of the city, right next to Rama Hospital, Rama Tibeti Hospital, and it was flooded the day before because of the heavy rainfall. It wasn't flooded, but the sewage wasn't able to, wasn't able to flow or release the water in time for some reason. So it was just crazy around there. I'm glad traffic wasn't bad because people were just trying to avoid the heavy rain, so nobody left the office, but I needed to. But anyway, I wasn't stuck in traffic or anything, but it was just crazy that in the middle of the city you just see like all this drainage not being drained because the water was just stuck there because the rain was too heavy. Anyway, that I'm hoping that would not be the case. It's not an often case anymore. Not like I think the year before COVID, right? That was a flooding in the middle of Sukhumvit that the water was just pumping up through 7-Eleven and people was just running. It was just crazy. Movie-like. Anyway, on to the updates from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and what we've done or what our executives have been doing. All the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister, the Deputy Foreign Minister, the Prime Minister, of course. So we have that on PR as well, just to showcase what Thailand is doing so far on the international stage. So it's one of the most important thing about MFA is publicizing or informing the public of what have been done to make Thailand become more well known in the international stage, just to put our stamp out there, just to reiterate our stances, what we feel so far, what we're doing to progress in various issues around the world, including climate change, including human rights, including security, including political affairs. That's one of the important things, but it's not directly the works of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs per se. Those will, well, it is, but it isn't, if you know what I mean. So all the management, governmental management is actually up to the cabinet, but we are helping in a sense in the foreign policy area because we have foreign ministers, right? And from that we kind of work with the foreign minister just to come up with the right and correct policy and direction of where we want to go with the foreign policy and how we want the international community to view us and to see what we can do for the world and for our country as well. So that's one of the main responsibilities or main jobs of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So most of the things that I have for the updates is just what's been done just to progress in the international stage and how it's benefiting the country in a sense. So hopefully you guys will get a better picture of what's going on international foreign policy side wise and understand all this is for the benefit of mutual benefits of everybody basically, and of course Thailand as well. And being the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we have to always bear in mind the benefits and advantages that Thailand can gain by participating or by engaging with the international and world community, global community in various stances, various issues. So all these come out as a PR just to let you guys know and inform the public of what we're doing, and that's how we're trying to connect the public to foreign policy, because foreign policy is not very far away from you. The more you learn about what's being done, the more you understand what's going on basically around the world as well. So we're hoping that what we're doing right now is actually engaging the people more and not empowering, but bringing knowledge and expanding the foreign policy knowledge within or among the public as well. Anyway, so His Excellency Mr. Pan Pri, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, visited Aranya Pratet district of Satgao province to gain more insights on cross-border trade, investment and tourism, as well as infrastructures linking Thailand and Cambodia. He discussed with local government agencies and representatives of the private sector in Sakyaw province on ways to further promote economic growth and development along the Thailand-Cambodia border. The Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Pran Pri met with Sakyaw Governor, President of Sakyaw Chamber of Commerce, and representatives of local government agencies at the Aranya Pratet Customs House. They exchanged views on matters related to the promotion of cross-border trade and tourism, the preparation for the official opening of Thailand-Cambodia Friendship Bridge, the development of cross-border freight rail link, and ways to stimulate growth of local economy. Following the discussion, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Pran Pri inspected facilities at the Ban Klong Luk Boi Pet International Point of Entry, where the Boi Pet City Deputy Governor welcomed the delegation, and the Ban Klong Luk Border Railway Station. He met with small business owners in Ronggleur Market to listen to their suggestions on ways to promote cross-border trade and tourism between Thailand and Cambodia. Afterwards, the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister had a site visit to follow up on the progress of the construction of the CIQ, which is Customs, Immigration and Quarantine Facilities, and ongoing works towards the full opening of the Thailand-Cambodia Friendship Bridge, Ban Non Kien Stang Port, where the Ban Toi Mien Chai Governor greeted him to welcome the delegation as well, which will help ease congestion at the Ban Klong Luk Boi Pet International Point of Entry. It is currently the largest channel for cross-border trade between Thailand and Cambodia. In addition, the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister also visited a humanitarian demining site operated by the Royal Thai Armed Forces along the Thailand-Cambodian border in the Aranya Pratet district, which is crucial for the safety of people, the development of the area, and the fulfillment of Thailand's international obligation. Thailand and Cambodia are close neighbors with strong economic linkages. The value of bilateral trade in 2022 was approximately $9.8 billion, with border trade accounting for about 60%, and Sakyaw province is the biggest gateway. Yeah, so being in ASEAN or Southeast Asia is actually very close-knit in a sense, because we are actually connected by the borders, like we and, of course, Cambodia, and, Thailand and Laos, PDR, and, with Laos and Vietnam, with us and Malaysia and Singapore. So everywhere it's always connected through land. So we're trying to actually build a road, or construct roads that actually connects us throughout the region and reaching all the way up to China. So that is what we're doing logistically, and railway as well. So that's in the pipeline and, moving along, progressing along gradually. And I suppose that it will make it easier for you to travel throughout Southeast Asian region, just, driving across country. Not across country like the United States. It's cross countries throughout so many, all the way up to China. So imagine that. So it's a very, very, very close-knit region, I think. And we're all interconnected. And we share cultures, we share languages. If you go down south, of course it's very close to the Malaysian border, so a lot of the people there are actually half Malaysian, half Thai, or they can speak Malayu, they can speak other Malaysian language as well. So it's pretty awesome actually that we share borders, we also share traditions, we also share cultures, we also, create new cultures just because we're diverse. And with that, we share understanding, and it's a good thing, and it's a beautiful thing that we as human beings can, coexist, cohabitate peacefully and happily. So I think that's one of the good things of being human beings, I suppose. I'm going off topic again, but anyway, I'm just saying that, before we were actually divided into continents, we were just fighting for land, right? Everywhere, everybody just wanted more land, everybody just wanted more resources. Now it's just, we are more settled into where we are. I know that we fight in a different way now, but still. I guess it's just in our nature to be greedy. I guess that's just human nature. But I mean, we are evolving and progressing, which is a good thing. And I hope that we'll just keep progressing for the betterment of the world and the next generation. Anyway, on to more updates. Now, so just to talk before I actually inform you of what has been done, let's kind of roll the clock back or turn the clock back a bit back to UNGA 78 of the high level week, which was around this week of the 17th. So that whole week was for the high levels, ministerial level leaders, governmental leaders, HOG, head of government. So they were there to express their stances, especially for the United Nations on various issues like human rights, climate change. So this is one of those updates that include those kind of things and what the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister did, what the Prime Minister did, what some other ministerial level or the Permanent Secretary did at the UNGA. It's the United Nations General Assembly. It's the biggest United Nations meeting in the year. So many head of states were there, or the head of governments were there, just to, make themselves known, make their stances known, putting their name out there, not their name, but the country's name out there into the world, just to see how we as a world can work together to improve the livelihoods of everyone, not just one country, but everyone on the earth, and for the future generations as well. So a few topics we discussed, we'll put on the table. We discussed a lot of things that affect everyone equally. Of course, there are some people that are, marginalized or maybe become those among the vulnerable groups, and we have to address those as well. So we're there to address all these issues that we can actually work together to improve. Anyway, so His Excellency Mr. Pran Pri Pahitha Mr. Pran Pri, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Thailand, attended the high-level meeting on the Pandemic Prevention, Preparedness and Response, or PPR, during the high-level week of the 78th session of the UN General Assembly at the United Nations headquarters in New York. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs underscored COVID-19 as one of the most serious multidimensional crises of our time and outlined 3 key priorities for the world to implement for bettering PPR as follows. Greater investment in universal health coverage, or UHC, both in normal times and emergencies, is needed to ensure that resilience of health system, social protection, social justice and health equity. The international community should expedite the reform of the global health architecture for better equity, inclusivity and coherence through capacity building, the enhancement of public-private partnership for a digital transformation of health system, and ensuring successful conclusion of the Pandemic Treaty and the amendments of the International Health Regulations 2005 under the World Health Organization, or WHO. It is vital to intensify development cooperation for PPPR, which is essential to global health security, through innovative means, including through sharing of health-related intellectual property rights through the COVID-19 Technology Access Pool, or CTAP. The event brought together leaders and high-level representatives of member states, observers of the General Assembly and the United Nations system, non-governmental organizations and health organizations to further mobilize political momentum for the work on strengthening the world's capacity on PPPR, including through the negotiations of the Pandemic Treaty under under the WHO. The meeting was a platform for Thailand to reaffirm her commitment to work with the international community to improve the world's PPPR. It also approved a political declaration on PPR, showing that the international community is united and ready to work as one with a spirit of partnership and cooperation toward the common good. See, like I told you, so we were there to work together, basically. So we put on the table issues that we think that we need to work together, and we get on it, basically. So all the resolutions will come out at the end of the year. By the beginning of next year, we'll have resolutions of the United Assembly for the 78th session, and it will become on various issues. So we have items that we have to discuss, and then all those resolutions will talk about things that we need to talk about, and then we'll just sit there, talk about the resolution, what we want to be in the paper, so that everybody will follow it as a guidance kind of thing. So yeah, we just attend the General Assembly just to discuss issues that we can work together, and we should work together. Pressing issues, important issues, who are the vulnerable groups now, and what we need to address, who we need to help first, what should we prioritize. We go to the United Nations to do that for the General Assembly, basically. Now, His Excellency Mr. Srettha Thavisin, Prime Minister, delivered a statement at the Climate Action Summit, Ambition Summit 2023 at the UN headquarters in New York, held during the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly, or the UNGA 78. The Prime Minister announced Thailand's aspirations to carry out the UN Secretary General's agenda forward by working in partnership with stakeholders and the international community, noting that Thailand's pledge at the UNFCCC COP26 has transformed into concrete action through the National Energy Plan, which focuses on energy efficiency, making a shift in the transport sector and increasing domestic electric vehicles production. The Prime Minister also pledged to take further action through plans to increase the share of renewable energy, support the usage of solar rooftop and net metering, to adapt to sustainable agronomy, to promote green finance mechanism through the issuance of sustainability bond, and pass the Climate Change Act to regulate mandatory greenhouse gas emissions. These will ensure that all entities are incentivized as Thailand achieves sustainability for the people. Now, the Climate Action Summit was organized by the UN Secretary General to encourage government leaders, the private and financial sectors, as well as civil society, to present ambitious and concrete actions to achieve the 1.5 degrees Celsius goal under the Paris Agreement and bring about climate justice. This reflects Thailand's continued commitment to international cooperation to tackle climate change. Right, so you see, climate change is one of the biggest issues of the era. So people are actually just going there to make commitments, or rather ambitious, not make commitments, or some did, and some express their aspirations to do better on climate. And that's one of those things that Thailand wanted to put a stamp on as well, that we are doing what we can at the best of our abilities, and we want the whole world to know that we are joining the world community to work on climate change. Right, that's all I have time for you guys on updates this week. So there are a few meetings, or high-level ones, that the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister attended and gave speeches, and the Prime Minister attended then also expressed Thailand's stances and intentions for the world community to understand and to be informed as well. So right before I go, my ritual of ending it with fun facts. A shark is the only known fish that can blink with both eyes. Just like humans. If you watch a documentary about sharks, you can see that they blink. So go check it out. It's pretty cool. And other fishes don't have eyelids though. Fish don't have eyelids, I swear. Sharks are the only thing, or the only species that does. Anyway, ending quotes. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. This is from John F. Kennedy. So he's saying words are actually meaningless without actions. Actions speak louder than words. So whatever you do, don't do just talk, but you have to do with actions as well. Alright, that's all I have time for this week. I'll see you again next week with more updates, so be sure to tune in then. Have a great weekend and the rest of the day as well. It's a Friday, so thank God it's Friday. See you again next week. สวัสดีค่ะ